Welcome to day 9 of the 21-day relational challenge.
And we're celebrating today because we have finished our 14 days of isolation.
Yes.
Not much is going to change. But to us, it feels like we've done something.
It feels like major freedom. So did you do a staff meeting yesterday? How many attended? Did it get out of control? Did you manage to make a plan? I'm actually curious to hear from some of you about how that went for you.
Exactly. So, confession. This is going to be a huge surprise to Darcy, but I'm a bit of a control freak.
What?
I know, it's hard to believe, but I like to think I'm
It's
flexible.
amazing. It's amazing how you discover things about each other
After 30 years.
After 30 years of marriage.
I'd like to think that I'm flexible, but I am flexible if I can control it. And there's not a lot of control right now. We don't have the freedom to move around as we want to. You know, for the past 2 weeks, you and I have relied on other people to bring us groceries. I'm used to getting into my car.
Mom and Dad actually even went to Starbucks and picked up coffee beans for us.
Yeah.
That was it took them four different Starbucks.
That was pretty epic, but you know, I'm used to getting into the car or onto the subway and just going where I want, when I want. And I think that this is what we're all feeling. You know, for many of us, work feels out of control. Like you and I, we're coming to Canada and we're going to do a bunch of speaking events, and that's not happening right now. So some of us have been laid off, others are going into overdrive. So it's quite something.
It's big. So when it feels out of control, our natural tendency is to look for those things that we can control. Well, what can we control?
Not much.
Not much. I think it's less than 20%. I heard that somewhere.
Where did you hear that?
Well,
Darcy?
Karen on Facebook. Like she was really convincing. But we can control our attitudes. We can control some of our schedule. And yesterday I saw on Facebook while I was looking for
Karen's
advice, I saw someone ask this, just a curious question. With all the people working from home right now, are you staying in your PJs all day, or are you showering and getting ready to go to work?
Isn't that an interesting question? It's a great question because people are trying to figure out how to structure themselves in these uncharted days. But this is the space where we have the most control. Routines are very, very important in these days. And John Maxwell says, if you never change your life, let me say that again.
Yeah.
You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So if you've ever raised kids, you know that they just tend to do better with routine. I think of our son, Nick.
Yeah, he would always ask, so what's happening today?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And what's the order?
Yeah, he wanted to know. And as soon as he knew that,
he was a happier kid.
He could just relax into it. So routines help us cope with change,
yeah,
really.
So we may not have any sense of control, but our daily routines that we can somewhat control, and perhaps more now when you're all at home. So Karen told us...
Karen from Facebook.
Yeah, told us that routine... She's imaginary, by the way. Routines help us with our mental health. They anchor us, and we don't know what the virus is up to. We can't control it, but we can have supper at 5:32.
Exactly. That we can control.
Yeah.
So routines also help us create a flow for our days and help us prioritize our activities to be sure that our needs are getting met. And they help us focus on what's important and create a framework for healthier choices. So Darcy, what is your routine looking like lately?
Yeah, so there are some good things. So coffee, French pressed.
Always.
First thing in the morning. Devos on the Bible app with prayer. I have this brain game app that helps me exercise my head. I do an email scan and hit the immediate ones, like the ones that I can just care for
quickly,
right away, quickly, and then Zoom meetings. Everybody's doing Zoom meetings now, and
yes, you do wear your pants.
Yes,
every single time.
because there have been multiple times where I've been asked to stand up and prove that I'm wearing pants, and I have never not been wearing pants. We do work sections where we disappear from each other to do work, and language study, 1 hour max of Netflix, and we've kind of set a limit to that because you can get sucked down a trail of Netflix
Yeah.
or Disney Plus or all those kind of things.
What happened to the day?
What happened to the day? 2 hours of walk.
2 hours of walking?
Or sorry,
You're
two
impressive.
2 walks at least. And I do try to get at least 12,000 steps. You do 10,000 because your steps are longer.
Well, I have longer legs than you, so
I
used to compete with you. I don't anymore.
More coffee, more exercise. Leanne does workouts regularly. We'll talk about exercise later in the week. Connection and deep listening, and that feels really significant right now. Eating less than 2,100 calories a day. Then there's dishes and cooking and house stuff.
Yeah.
I loved hearing on our Facebook page about John and Vera in Malaysia, and they've been doing whole family workouts with their family of 5, and they've got in their schedule they plan parents and kid time, mom and dad time. It's good. There's lots of good things that we can do.
Yeah, for sure. So here's your challenge for today. We want you to sit down with a pad of paper together and brainstorm, and we just want you to dump out all of the things.
All the things.
Everything you need to do over the week. For sure, your responsibilities, those things we do because we're grown-ups, but also those things that you need to be at your very best. So things to consider would be like, what do you need spiritually? How about your work? How much time is needed for your work? House responsibilities. There's meals to prepare, clothes to wash, toilets to clean. I mean, the house is getting dirtier because more people are in it for more often. Exercise, play, connection with others, self-care, solitude, things like sleep. And it's interesting. We're hearing from people that they're like, I'm sleeping more. And I've always been a good sleeper, and I'm continuing to excel in that. But I just think people need more sleep right now. So once all of those things are just kind of dumped out, you're going to ask yourself, okay.
3 big questions.
3 big questions.
1.
What is really important to you on this list?
2.
Is there anything you can cut out or reduce?
And 3.
Is there anything that you need to add? And then as you kind of figure that out, begin to plot out a normal COVID-19 routine. I would suggest that it begin with get up in the morning and wash your face, which it's such a simple thing. And then I would say even beyond that, make your bed. Because there's something, I just made our bed. And there's something about it that I feel accomplished. I feel like I'm a rock star because I can look over there and see a made bed. Anyway, so yeah.
So Leanne, here we are. What do you need to shift around in our routine? Like, what do we need to shift up?
Well, I've discovered that I've really been over ambitious about what I can get done in this season. I need to reduce my expectations. So I need to work, obviously.
Yeah.
But Leanne at work COVID-19 is different than Leanne at work in normal circumstances. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow about productivity and expectations we have of ourselves and expectations we have of each other. So how about you?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, for me, as you read that list of things to do during the day, the thing that hit me is I've lost my play. Regular community tennis, both in Asia and in Canada, has been a part of my life, and the joy of playing physically, being physically active with other people and laughing at great shots and all that kind of stuff is gone. So I need to figure that out. I need to figure out how I can play during a pandemic.
Yeah. What does play look like for you right now?
I will say, Leanne says, "Wash your face, make your bed." I and you've got the spiritual degree, right? But I will say, start with Jesus in your routine. Start with Jesus, because from Him you can face your day.
Oh, I have needed that more than ever. That grounding place where I'm like, okay, this is where we start. We start with the truth of who God is, the truth of who I am through Him. And yeah, so your challenge today
is to put all the things
on
you do on the table, spread them out.
Yep.
Darcy style.
Exactly.
Look at your routine with your spouse, your kids, your roommates, your friends. 2 meters apart.
And then ask what's really important on this list.
Is there anything you can cut out or reduce?
And is there anything you need to add? And just remember, it's a work in progress. Be kind to yourself. You don't have to get it perfect. You can always make adjustments as needed.
Yeah. So thank you to all of those of you who helped with our self-isolation. Robin and Dylan and Mom and Dad in particular for bringing the groceries and the coffee and just the care by others for us.
Yes.
And many of you are doing that. Thanks to our frontline workers. Celebrate them at 7 p.m.
It's awesome. And remember,
together you've got this.